Happy birthday, Uncle Bob. Sorry we couldn't be there tonight. It's just not hip to be around old people. Just kidding. But Hudson's bedtime is at 7 p.m., which your bedtime is about the same time. So I don't know what you're still doing out. Anyway, we love you. We wish we could be there. And we'll see you soon.
Have a great day. We love you.
Bob, happy 60th. We thought it was only right to film this video in front of the one and only creature you've been chasing your entire life.
It's him. It's Bigfoot. We found him.
Uncle Bob is gonna freak out.
Honestly, he looks like Uncle Bob, but I'm betting this guy trims his ear hair.
Look, evidence. Pile of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh no, not again.
Just like Montana. Remember that trip? We saw a bunch of KFC boxes behind a dumpster, and Bob was convinced it was a Bigfoot feeding ground.
Or maybe he just didn't want to admit that he ate the chicken.
Bob, you've spent 60 years becoming a legend, hunting, playing pool, raising 4 amazing kids, and tracking creatures that most people think are myths.
Like Bigfoot and your hairline.
You've taught us to always believe in the impossible.
Which is why we still think the Jazz might win a championship someday.
Happy 60th birthday,
Uncle
Bob.
We love you, you big, hairy legend.
In honor of your 60th birthday, Bob, I would like to share a few stories with everyone. One Saturday morning, we woke up and asked Bob where his car was. He said he had to leave it at his friend's house because of a flat tire, and that he needed to go get it. But he didn't want us to help him go get it. Our suspicions rapidly rose, and Jerry insisted on taking him out to get his car. As we drove to where his car was, which was not at any of his friends' homes, we drove out past town and noticed the beer cans in the fire pit and realized it was a party place for kegers. Bob insisted he did not know it was a kegger and tried to convince us he had not drunk at all. Turns out his car was there with no flat tire. All Jerry said was we were going home, and if he was smart, he would meet us there. You can all imagine the short lecture Jerry had with Bob when we were at home that took hours. It was a good thing that Bob did not drive home after not drinking anything. Do you think Bob was innocent or guilty? We received a call from a local bar in a rough part of town telling us that the parents of Robert Voeller needed to come down and pick up his confiscated driver's license. It seemed the alterations of his birth date was not very good, and if he were that age today, we would be celebrating his 64th birthday. We went down and picked it up and were waiting at home for his return. We asked to see his license and were told that he lost it at school. Then we told him that the owner of the Caboose bar called and wanted us to pick up his license. Then we asked him how it got there. Answer was a pause, then maybe someone at school picked it up and tried to use it there. As the story goes, there was yet another short lecture that continued until the wee hours of the night. This next story, I actually have the exact date and time of events. It was a warm Friday night, August 6th, 1982, and all the kids were playing in the front yard with all their neighborhood friends. I was experiencing some hard but not consistent contractions as I was overdue with our youngest daughter. Jerry was working the late shift and had just arrived home to see me in the living room breathing through another contraction. By this time, all the kids came in to greet their dad and saw what was going on, and instead of Jerry getting all nervous to get me to the hospital, Bob took on that role and informed us that he would be driving the lead car with lights flashing so he could get us to the hospital fast. That was the last time we saw Bob until we arrived and saw Bob pacing and wondering what took us so long, as he had been waiting for at least 10 minutes. It's a good thing there were no cops around to stop him for speeding. We checked in at approximately 10:30 and Julie was born at 1:47 a.m. The next morning when Jerry went home to see how everyone was, doing and let them know that they all had a baby sister, he realized that Bob had gone home and had an all-night party with alcohol involved at our house. Now, after you heard these 3 stories on Bob's early age alcohol addiction, why he drinks so much to this day. Happy birthday.
Hey, Bobby, how's your mom?
Hey, we're super excited to be a part of your big old ass day. Sorry, Shay made me say that.
When I was told there's going to be a roast, my first thoughts were, you and everyone there that knows me should be thankful I'm not there. I'd be roasting you harder than Nikki Glazier on Tom Brady. When Bob decided he was going to be a vegan, I thought, well, okay, he had enough meat in high school. Time for a change. It's hard to say negative things about you, buddy, when it's not to your face, because you mean so much to me.
Hey, I just want you to know, Bob, that you and Allison mean so much to me. I was super excited to meet you guys on our first date that we went together to Idaho Falls 13 years ago. But we really just want to wish you a happy 60th birthday and let you know that we love you more than a fat kid loves cake.
Love you, buddy. You guys take care and enjoy it.
Happy birthday, brother. Who'd have thunk you'd make it to 60 years old? I mean, especially with some of those poor decisions you made in your life. Like, who lets a first grader convince them to put their hand on a hot burner of the stove? And like, who lets a first-time driver drive their little AMC Hornet down the road and let them get crashed? To be honest with you, though, that really wasn't me that crashed your car. It was Debbie, just like she did to my Challenger, almost. But I took the blame for her and everything like that. Anyway, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday and hope you have a great day. I'll keep it short and sweet since I'm sure Dad has at least one short story he wants to tell, and I don't know how long of a video you can make with Dad's short story. So, happy birthday, brother. Hope you have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Happy birthday, Robert James. Wow, how could that be? My oldest son is 60 years old. Hell, I'm barely in the 70s or so. Years ago when we lived in Logan, Utah, Bobby had a pet rabbit named Pinky. He loved Pinky, but after a year or so, Pinky died. That's when he asked, I can't find Pinky. I said to him, well, Pinky went to heaven with all the other animals who have died. Then the conversation was about heaven, etc. The next day or two, I was looking out the window and I saw Bobby throwing up in the air Pinky's rabbit food. I asked him what he was doing, and he said feeding Pinky up in heaven. Well, that's a cute story, right? Well, but you know he was 17 years old. Oh, by the way, we had rabbit stew the next day. Bob, I bet you didn't know that, did you? When Bob was a young teenager, he and his friends would go down fishing on the Missouri River in Great Falls, Montana, where he grew up. By the river was a park called Giant Springs, where there was a large natural spring water which flowed into the Missouri River. This place was several miles from our house. And the kids would walk down there to fish, and I thought that was pretty cool and pretty ambitious of them. They would come home with a streamer full of nice big trout. I thought Bob and his friends were damn good fishermen. Well, later on, I found out how and why they caught those nice big trout. Next to the park in Giant Springs, there was an enclosed fish hatchery. Yep, everyone knows about fish hatcheries. After the fish get so big, they dump them back into the rivers and streams. You guessed it, Bob was catching his fish out of the hatchery, an enclosed, high-fenced area with signs saying, no fishing. They had to cast over a fence to the pond of hundreds of hungry fish, so it was really easy to hook them. So I guess they must have been pretty good in casting and landing a fish over a fence. Talent maybe? No, just cheating. So people out there, when you hear stories now from Bob on how many and how big a fish he got, question his credibility. Oh, Bobby, oh, Bobby. While living in Missoula, Montana, we had our nephews, Philip, Paul, and David. Bob's cousins come stay with us from out of town for a few days. At that time, I worked for a Pepsi distributor. I would bring home a few cases of Pepsi canned product, and I'd keep the full cases, down in the basement. I accumulated quite a few stacks of all the flavors that we carried. Bob being the oldest son, I'm blaming him for the following incident. Well, his cousins, one of them the same age and two older, I came home from work and went downstairs to see the kids and their cousins, as that is where they had their playroom and the hangout areas. And as I got downstairs, the kids were not there and must have been outside in the neighborhood playing. I saw the floor was all wet and wondered what happened, and I looked around and I saw my stacked Pepsi cases had holes in the cans and discovered what a wet, sticky mess was on the floor. I knew it was the boys. The cousins went back to their home in Great Falls. Bob probably had his first short, long lecture. He was pretty young then. But how the story progressed, how, when, and why, etc. Oh, by the way, I had a dartboard in the basement with the real sharp darts for playing the game with the kids. Well, these boys, with Bob, shook the cases and threw darts at the cans to explode them, and soda shot all over the basement. Well, another story of how Bob started off his life as a gangster at a younger age. Robert James Voeller, my son of 60 years, I'm so proud of you, of how life as a child, growing up as a fun, loving, ambitious character, enjoying your family, friends, and always on the go, playing sports, camping, fishing, and loving the outdoors. You've been my pal, hanging out, playing ball. I coached you in baseball for several years, and I was hard on you to do the best you could be, and you were an excellent ball player. You were a caring and proud big brother to all four of your siblings. After schooling was over, you always had a job and progressed forward, always pursuing the best you could be in your career, and still to this day. A great provider and a great example of what a father should be in raising of your four children. You also made the best decision in your life in finding and marrying your amazing and lovely wife, Miss Allison. She is your rock, and you are hers. Both of you make your family a union of so much love, kindness, and respect to all. You are in our hearts with so much love always. Love you, son.
Happy birthday to you.